Hello, and a very good day to everyone here at the VST ECS CXO Summit. My name is Edward Riviello. I work for SAP Philippines, and I am the Business Development Manager for SAP Business One. And for the next 30 minutes, I'd like to, walk you through who is SAP. We'll talk about, the intelligent enterprise for Filipino businesses, and what does this digital transformation really mean, and what are the technologies driving this? So without further ado, I'd like to get into it with a very quick introduction about who SAP is. So if you're not familiar, SAP is a German company, and since 1972, their mission and vision has really revolved around, making businesses be more productive, making them run better. And to date, we have over 440,000 customers across the world. And one fun fact I really like to share is that many of the businesses that are using SAP are actually using SAP Business One, which is a ERP solution or enterprise resource planning solution designed for small to medium enterprises. So we are actually the market leader in ERP, as well as analytics, human capital management, experience management software as well. So in my role, I actually talk to a lot of Filipino businesses. And one recurring theme that we really consistently hear is that many businesses don't have a single source of truth, and they lack the visibility of performance across a business. So for example, when your boss or the CFO is asking how much revenue did we earn in this period for the past 3 months, instead of being able to simply look at your business productivity software, it becomes a very complex, challenging question that needs different people from different departments to try and consolidate all of their reports, which is kind of the visual you're seeing on your screen. So this is a time of challenge for many businesses. And one way that we can really start to capitalize on this challenge with COVID-19 is that, we start to look at technology to leverage to see how we can really move forward. So some of the common themes that customers are talking to us about is how can we shift to an OpEx model versus CapEx with our investment for IT software? And a very simple solution to that is something like a cloud subscription ERP solution, which VST ECS offers with Go Cloud. Because the challenge is here that businesses don't want to be down while they implement their system. They want to still be able to be productive. So they need something that's quick to implement, easy to use right out of the box, and can integrate with their existing landscape. So I just wanted to share some of these challenges and some of these key asks from customers as we speak to them across the past 2 years. So because of COVID-19, we've seen a shift, right? We've seen a crisis, but also within that crisis, we've seen an opportunity, because now companies are more comfortable looking at how they can digitally transform their business to remain productive no matter what. I still remember when lockdown first happened in March of 2020, and not really realizing that, okay, I'm going to need to be able to access all of my IT equipment to stay productive at work. I need to be able to access my emails in a safe and secure manner. And this echoes a lot of what Filipino businesses have been telling us. We were caught with our pants down. We didn't have telecommuting processes in place. So maybe there's 2 weeks of downtime, which can be really unacceptable for some businesses. So when we talk about a digital business, the premise is that in the digital economy today, people, businesses, and things are becoming more and more connected. And this is not just for your big conglomerates, but this is for companies operating worldwide. Whether they're big or small, multinational or not, we're really seeing that there's this connectivity that's transcending the way we live in our daily lives. So your existing business models are changing. We need to reach customers in different ways. And I think the last year plus has been a catalyst for being hungry for this change for Filipino businesses. And to do this, you really need to become an intelligent digital business, right? Shifting from maybe disparate reporting sources, manual reporting sources using Excel, for example. Now it's really a time to look at how can we become this intelligent digital business. And I think the easiest way we can fathom how we'll make that change is we look at the technologies that are really driving this change, right? Bringing us to this future state of innovation. And we like to call these enablers. Digital businesses are built on these new computing infrastructures, right? Of these different digital enablers. And some of these technologies you'll be very familiar with already. So analytics, big data, cloud technologies, mobile technologies, and a lot of the innovation is being accelerated by technologies like the Internet of Things and machine learning. So don't worry, I'll be talking more about these technologies, but I wanted to introduce them now, as these technologies are going to help drive a Filipino business towards a future state of innovation that'll really help them, weather the storm of anything like COVID-19 in the future, but as well as become a global player, beyond Southeast Asia, but being a presence, on the global economy as well, by adopting the technologies that are going to help you change your business models and create new products and revenue streams in this digital economy, which everyone is taking a part of now. So one way we help Filipino businesses digitize is using the SAP Business One platform. SAP Business One, again, I mentioned earlier, is our enterprise resource planning software, specifically designed for small to medium enterprises. And to date in the Philippines, we have over 1,800 customers currently using SAP Business One. So this is a solution that's been tried and tested in the Filipino market. And we partner with VST ECS for them to enable Filipino businesses to actually move to the cloud using SAP Business One Go Cloud. So you may recognize some of these technologies on the screen, but to help simplify this, I would say SAP Business One, yes, this is a digital core. SAP Business One Go Cloud is your digital core where all of this innovation will be hosted on this one platform. So using the platform to collect all of your operational data, you can then leverage on these technologies, these digital enablers, to help get the most out of the way your business is running. So I'll explain further by looking at these individual technologies and walking you through, within the scope of SAP Business One Go Cloud, what do these technologies, what do these digital enablers actually look like in a practical sense for your business? So when we look at analytics, analytics is one of the most popular technologies that are being requested across, CIOs in Southeast Asia. And I read a report from Gartner back in 2019 saying that deeper analytics and having analytics within your business is one of the top technologies you'll need to have moving forward. Otherwise, they were even as bold to say that you'll cease to exist as a business if you don't properly utilize analytics. So analytics, of course, if I could just summarize it in maybe one sentence, it's really the ability to, yes, of course, capture all of your data on a digital core like Go Cloud, but then it's really about being able to understand, consume, and potentially visualize that data so you can really make intelligent decisions based on accurate real-time information at your disposal. So what does that look like for SAP Business One? And that would be dashboards and KPIs that are visual that you can configure to best suit what information you need to look for. SAP also offers crystal reports, which are standard business intelligence reporting, which you can format and help customize to make sure that you're getting the most out of the reporting for your business intelligence reporting. And another really powerful feature which helps with analytics is you can generate really powerful Excel reports for your business using the semantic layer within B1. So again, of course, analytics are great and being able to have these powerful dashboards and KPIs are important, but it's also good to have technology that you're comfortable with, that integrates. So if you're comfortable using Excel, this is again a feature that's going to help you, get the most out of creating reports on the fly specific to your business. Okay, so cloud technologies, I've in my role, I've seen the mindset change of Filipino businesses to being a little more hesitant about the cloud to now quite readily and easily embracing moving to the cloud, right? Even with your critical operational data. And this is a really big change that we're seeing. And analysts predict that within by 2024, the cloud market is going to double. And this is just a conservative projection, which we're seeing real time in front of our eyes with all of our Filipino customers. So Go Cloud from VST ECS is an example of, okay, how can we have an ERP solution like Business One, but how can we be flexible and minimize the IT investment to help companies, roll out a world-class ERP solution that's subscription-based, that gives you that flexibility, as well as, hosting it on a public or private cloud environment, which would ever suit your business best. So one example of this kind of cloud deployment that is maybe more tangible is SAP Business One Web Client, wherein you can download and operate seamlessly by using a web client that optimizes the user experience while giving you all of the great features of the ERP solution software, right? So this is, again, you can take advantage of these, complex dashboards, understand your business performance real time by a few clicks from your tablet or the comfort of your home. And I think this is a really popular feature now that many Filipino businesses are really utilizing to help make sure that, you do have that real-time insight into your operational data. When we talk about machine learning, when we break down the technology and how it looks like for an ERP solution like SAP Business One, it becomes much more tangible. But I like to think about machine learning as a feature we're all using daily, especially if you're doing online shopping, for example. I'm sure many people at the summit have used something like Lazada, and you're typing in coffee filter paper, for example. And then you'll see that it'll automatically recommend similar products based on what you've searched. So that kind of capability, that's real technology that if you apply it to a business, it can be quite powerful. So I have some examples here. So within SAP Business One, we have a feature called sales recommendation, which leverages on machine learning. So you can display product recommendations based on the historical buying patterns of a customer or offer. So for example, customer A always purchases good A, right? And they have a similar customer who purchases a product that is almost like product A, but they've continuously been purchasing product B. Here is an opportunity for SAP Business One to automatically recommend to this new customer, hey, you've been buying item B, but actually what's really popular in a similar and is a similar product is, product A. So it's an automatic recommendation. So you're empowering your salespeople to understand, what kind of, competitive, catered recommendations we can start giving our customers, right? And then that will help transform the customer experience for them, for your customers, which is critical in this time, because being able to offer catered recommendations that will resonate with your customers is just one of the ways that successful businesses are really retaining their customers. For a more internal feature that is really powerful, we can look at intelligent forecasts, wherein you can start to forecast based on built-in statistics. You can analyze your inventory level, understand how much of a certain raw material you'll need to order to kind of keep your warehouse and inventory lean, as well as optimize the demand for the certain products that will be moving quite quickly. So this is a really powerful feature to really understand what do I need to start purchasing already so I can satisfy the demands of the customers, which again, of course, is extremely powerful knowledge to be able to offer to your customers. So when they come to you with a recommendation or a request rather for a certain product, you have that confidence that yes, I can fulfill that demand because I've been able to intelligently forecast the levels of demand that would be associated with this product. So this is just a very simple example of machine learning. I want to just close up on the machine learning demonstration by talking about some proof of concepts that have been created in Europe, for example. So one really interesting application they created using SAP Business One as a backend is something they call SAP SMB Marketplace. And in the interest of time, I'll just walk everyone through the solution here. If you've ever used Messenger, this is an automatic chatbot wherein you can start to talk to a store's marketplace, start to take a photo of a shoe, for example, that you're interested in. They can then start to recommend similar models. They can tell you if they have it in stock. They can tell you what size, all the different colors. And this is all just from a chat-based, a chatbot that's going to help you have a more seamless shopping experience. And the way they do this is they built a front customer-facing chatbot application, but all of the information from the store's warehouse in terms of inventory, color items, size, combining that information from the backend of SAP Business One has then enabled this shoe retailer to have a really hands-on customer experience that's more immediate, which makes these customers, appreciate that immediacy as well as that easy access to information. And for the shoe retailer, this is helping them, close more deals or sell more shoes because this is something that's done from the convenience of this end customer's home on their phone. So I thought that was a very interesting use case to share as an example of machine learning and how it's a real technology that Filipino businesses can start to be using now. So big data is been a hot buzzword. It's one of those technologies that people are trying to say, how do we actually harness big data? How do we get and gather and collect all the myriad data sources that we're being bombarded with now? But connect the dots, draw the lines, and visualize and make use of all these different data sources into one way that we actually can consume it and draw insights from this today. So some example of these big data opportunities are making information transparent and usable at a higher frequency. For example, enhance the customer's experience as it's happening, as they're going through the shopping journey with you. Big data, you can also identify hidden relationships and patterns and trends within the data. So this is when you start to anticipate and avert business problems or risk before they materialize, all by leveraging on big data. Another practical example is transforming your inventory allocation from a batch to an interactive process. So for example, you can accurately predict consumer behavior against the stock levels and adjust promotions in the moment, right? So understanding what stock you have a surplus of, and then pushing out a proactive marketing campaign for that slow moving stock to try and get the ball rolling and get it to the customers, right? And putting in maybe a competitive pricing. So these are examples of using big data to draw real-time insights to then help propel your business forward. I wanted to share two examples of big data and how it applies to SAP Business One Go Cloud. So for example, enterprise search. I love this feature because I think it's so powerful in its simplicity. So if you've ever used something like Google search, or there may be some people using Bing, for example, enterprise research is the ability to, like a search engine, locate critical business information just by typing into a search bar. And then from there, whatever business information you need to look at, you're able to search for it and find it using enterprise search. So a very simple feature in theory, but extremely powerful and useful for businesses. Another example of harnessing big data would be predictive analytics. So, using forecasting strategies, again, within your dashboards to kind of predict future and seasonal trends based on historical data within your business, right? So again, going back to how can we be smart about the campaigns we're pushing in terms of, okay, this is typically a slow sales period. Do we need to run a competitive campaign on a certain product? And this way we can continue to be productive even during down periods. Or is it the opposite? This is traditionally, it's holiday season, people are buying goods A, B, and C at a much higher rate. So is this something that we need to forecast and prepare for, so during the holiday season we can still fill customer demands? So again, the powerful big data is really about harnessing all these different data sources and making it usable for you as the consumer or the person using an ERP solution. So the Internet of Things, again, if we talk about what this is just a network of physical objects, whether that's a vehicle, machine, your home appliances, that use sensors and APIs to connect and exchange data over the internet. So, that sounds great, but what does that look like when we're talking about SAP Business One, when we're talking about SAP Business One Go Cloud, for example? So these are some examples that we've seen. So again, these are proof of concept applications that have been developed by partners of ours across the world. So I just wanted to illustrate again, how does the Internet of Things, how can it help a Filipino business? So for example, they've developed using SAP Business One as the back end. They've developed the front end application for Twitter, where they're able to capture customer analysis, customer sentiment by capturing all of that data, all of that unstructured data you're getting from tweets about your company, for example, then being able to take all of that information and create and visualize dashboards on this to really understand how your customers feel about you, where are they located, what is the general sentiment about your business, is it positive or negative? And then from there, you can have your marketing team come in and start to address maybe some of these concerns in the way that they're portrayed on their social marketing campaigns. Another very simple integration of SAP Business One has been with Alexa, wherein it's exactly what you're imagining in your head. You can say, hey, Alexa, what is my revenue earned in the past 3 months? And that integration into the backend of SAP Business One allows Alexa to actually talk you through your business performance to the past 3 months, for example. You can ask who are my top salespeople, for example, and Alexa will be able to, dictate that back to you. You can also say, do I have any AR from certain partners? And then Alexa can, again, because it's integrated to SAP Business One through the backend, and then also talk you through, these parameters as well. So that's really interesting, and for me, I really love voice activated technology, and I think that's really the future, just because of how convenient it is. So that's something that we've seen already, been deployed. And finally, a really great example of cold storage. So maybe this is a more practical example if you have a similar setup in your company, but in Italy, they have a cold storage facility with IoT sensors at the door of each of these cold storage units. And they use SAP Business One as a backend to capture all of the data from these IoT sensors. And this comes in various flavors. So number one, safety. So whenever it's open and someone enters, they're able to track and ping that. And then when the door opens again, they know that that person has left because it sent the signals back to SAP Business One. But if the door is opening and it's not being open for another, quite a long amount of time based on what they've set up into the system, then they know that this may be a cause of concern. Someone has not left the cold storage unit for a various amount of time. Another really cool application is the energy saving feature, as well as from there being able to reduce the cost of the energy expenditure, because now you have a way to track how long these doors are open, and then you can analyze the performance in terms of how long should we be keeping these cold storage units open. We can see that we're using this much in electricity, and if we analyze the periods where we kept the door open for a minimal amount of time, we can work around our processes to make sure that we can be efficient in terms of energy expenditure by how we operate, use, and close these cold storage units. And finally, there are also instances where they're putting these IoT sensors to do preventative maintenance, wherein you can track the health of certain parts of the cold storage unit by using these IoT sensors. And then from there, instead of waiting for it to break down, and then the cold storage unit will have to be shut, then you have to order the parts, and then you have to wait for it to be fixed. Here we can track the health of certain moving parts within the cold storage unit, and then before it's time for maintenance by fixing it, you can do preventative maintenance by ordering in the parts already, for example, and then making sure you have your service people on standby. So again, these are real technology, these are real digital enablers that companies across the world are using. And for me, it's my passion to say that this is the real innovation that Filipino businesses can be adopting as well. By partnering with VST, ECS, and Go Cloud, and learning how an ERP solution can be, the innovation platform for Filipino business. Mobile technologies, I won't spend so much time on this because everyone is by now an expert at using their smartphone. So here we're just talking about applying the powerful use of SAP Business One Sales app, for example, and having your salespeople productive on the field as they're out talking to customers, because then now they have access on their phones to real-time information about the inventory, the pricing. If you're pushing out campaigns on the fly, they'll be able to understand and receive this information and then approach the customer saying, Mr. Customer, actually for you, we have a special promotion. We've seen your buying history, and we think that you may be interested again in not just item A, but item B, right? So it's just being able to access your operational data on the field to make sure that we're all productive, I think is an extremely valuable tool for many people now. So since last year, this has been an extremely popular feature across Filipino business as well. So again, I've talked about these digital enablers. So how do we go about transforming your business at this stage, right? And I think the answer is simple. It's investing in the right technology at the right time, partnering with great companies that can help realize the implementation, as well as scoping the solution to your benefits. So again, of course, talking to VST, ECS, seeing how, this is our current landscape, how can we work together to make sure that we can be, ready to future-proof our business with these digital enablers, right? So, a good ERP solution at the end of the day is going to allow businesses to just focus on running their business. The competitive advantages comes from having a world-class ERP solution that's robust, that many people have used across the world with great success. But a good ERP solution is also one that's going to enable you to access real-time information to your data so you can make informed decisions about your business. And this is coming from having that one innovation platform where across all lines of your business, all of your critical operational data, from procurement to production, your sales, your inventory management, etc. All of that information is being readily made easily available to you within one platform like GoCloud. Because at the end of the day, you want to have easy access to your own operational data so you can understand how your business is performing. You can make informed decisions on how you want to be moving to, what kind of promotions do you need to create, what kind of new revenue streams can we create to pivot and start attracting more customers and retaining our existing customers. And the only way you can really do that is having a really solid understanding of how your business is performing, as well as making real-time and better decisions based on accurate data that is captured by an ERP solution like GoCloud. Because at the end of the day, what GoCloud can offer to you is that right out of the box, this is a robust ERP solution that's going to give you complete visibility and control of your business operational data. And because it's being deployed on the cloud, it's fast time to value. We're really focusing on OpEx instead of CapEx here. And then it's going to be simple, affordable, easy to use. And again, a product that's going to be supported for the next decade. So again, when we talk about business investments, SAP Business One has been around for quite some time, and it's going to have continued support for at least the next decade, because this is a critical piece of the SAP portfolio for SAP. Because really the small to medium businesses that are using this software grow to be the next conglomerates of the world, right? And that's what's really nice about being able to talk to everyone today at the CXO Suite about what SAP is doing in the Philippines and what we're trying to bring to the Filipino businesses. And finally, just to recap some fast facts for everyone. ERP, there are many great options, but for GoCloud, this is a solution that the same technology is used by 70,000 plus customers. We have over 1 million users to date with a 95% renewal rate, which means this is a solution that works really well and people are quite happy to use it. When we look at SAP Business One, it's being used over 170 countries around the world, and we have over 300 software solution partners who help bring this innovation, to the Philippines, and we do that by partnering, and we're very lucky to do so with VST ECS. While I've been saying a lot of small to medium businesses have been reaping the benefits of SAP Business One, we also have a large number of large enterprises who are running SAP Business One and their subsidiaries, right? It's the whole principle where, maybe you have an enterprise grade ERP solution already with your headquarters. But if you have a subsidiary network, the ability to roll out a cost-effective, robust ERP solution that's going to connect seamlessly to your existing SAP setup, this is a really popular strategy to make sure that, a company, a large enterprise with a strong subsidiary network is able to also get, that best-in-class ERP solution, understand the operational data, and then, make it usable, readable, and understandable by the headquarters as well. So with that, I'd like to say thank you so much for your time this afternoon. It is always a pleasure to, be invited to these events to share, what is my passion, bringing digital enablers, bringing this technology to the Filipino businesses, because I have very high hopes for the Filipino businesses to really be on the world map. And we really like to share that this is how we see we can help digitally transform your business. So again, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the sessions today, as well as the rest of this CXO Summit. There's great content. So I hope everyone stays safe and well. And I guess I can wish you an early happy holidays. Hey, great. Take care. Thank you, everyone.